Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, of course, is still holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy here in London. But once again, he's proven that he's not just sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Not content with releasing 20,000 emails from the Democratic National Committee, Assange now says he'll be releasing more material that he says will provide enough evidence to see Hillary Clinton arrested.
Okay, after months and months of threatening to release a bombshell on Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is set to speak at the group's 10-year anniversary tomorrow. Assange will be speaking through a video link after canceling his announcement, which was supposed to happen on the balcony of an Ecuadorian embassy, the Ecuadorian embassy.
But there's another explanation.
Oh, tell me. Okay. I want to hear them all.
And that is that whatever he was planning to release is not quite ready for prime time, may not be as explosive as he has said it is, may not be worth it.
He knows what it is, right?
Well,
so he's been teasing this for months. Why tease something like that if it's not going to be all that?
Well, because you build suspense and you make sure that you have, instead of 10 million people watching, 20 or 30 or 40 million people watching.
And since now he has a video link and
since now he has
you'll be able to
link.
click online and get the information.
To discredit Assange. I actually saw a tweet saying, oh, Assange's, whatever he releases will be fake. No, whatever he releases will be real. Now, an intermediary met with him in London recently, who is a friend of mine and a friend of his, a believer in freedom. And I am assured that the mother lode is coming Wednesday. It wouldn't be an October surprise if I told you what it was, but I have reason to believe that it is devastating, because people with political judgment who are aware of the subject matter tell me this. But my very best intelligence from a mutual friend who has spoken to him in London is that the mother lode is about to come, and it will be extraordinarily damning to the Clintons.
Julian Assange was on another show yesterday and says he got a lot more damning Hillary Clinton campaign emails coming out.
Okay.
Julian Assange is scheduled to make a major announcement tomorrow. The original announcement, and this announcement is ostensibly supposed to be an October surprise. Some information that WikiLeaks has gathered and collected and taken their time to verify, ostensibly, and they're going to release it. And it's supposed to be detrimental to Hillary Clinton's campaign. According to interviews that he's had on Fox News, he said that this is back in August. He told Megyn Kelly that that this was a major scoop, that it could influence the race. He said it's a variety of documents from different types of institutions that are associated with the election campaign. So it's it's supposed to come tomorrow. Now,
Julian, thank you very much for being here. So let's start with the additional information you have regarding Hillary Clinton. When can we expect this information?
While we're working around the clock, we have received quite a lot of material, stimulated, of course, by the US election process and by our major DNC revelation, which has now led to the resignation of 5 top officials in the DNC, including Debbie Wasserman-Schultz, the president, the last one late last week. So, you know, it's a complex business, what we do. We have to assess the veracity. We have a perfect 10-year record so far in never getting it wrong. We want to keep that reputation, understand how things should be formatted, what media we should be involved in, what is the best way to stage it out. Do we accumulate everything, assess it, publish it all in one batch, or do we do several batches? The approach that we've decided to take is that we do several batches.
But give us a general sense. I mean, are we going to see it before the November 8th election?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in the case of the DNC leaks, for example, we pushed as fast as we could to try and get it in before the Democratic nomination conference, because obviously people have a right to understand who it is that they're nominating and what sort of process was involved. And the same is true here for the US electoral process. People involved in that election have the right to understand who it is they're electing.
Now, you've seen it, right? Can you tell us how significant you believe it is? I mean, compare its significance to what we saw released by WikiLeaks in July.
Well, I don't want to scoop ourselves. We have a lot of pages of material, thousands of pages of material. So no, I have not read every single page. We're hard at work in doing that, trying to understand, etc. I don't want to give the game away, but it's a variety of different types of documents from different types of institutions that are associated with the election campaign. Some quite unexpected angles that are quite interesting. Some even entertaining.
Do you right now, according to the average of all polls, she's beating Donald Trump by 5.5 points nationwide. She's way ahead of him in most of the swing states, not all. Do you believe the information in your possession could be a game changer in the U.S. election?
I think it's significant. It depends on how it catches fire in the public and in the media.
We continue our discussion here with the founder, the editor-in-chief of WikiLeaks, and that's Julian Assange is with us. You told me that you have batches, what you called batches and batches of information that you're continuing to vet, specifically related to Hillary Clinton, that you have said numerous times you believe will have a profound or could have a profound impact on this election. What else can you tell us about that?
I said significant. Profound is possible. It depends on how, the stuff is taken up. But we saw a very good take-up last time with the DNC leak, so I'm hopeful. I can't scoop ourselves before we publish, but we have tens of thousands, possibly as many as 100,000 pages of documents of different types related to the operations that Hillary Clinton is associated with. They're from several, I don't want to speak about sourcing, but let me put it this way, that in response to the DNC publications, a lot of people have been inspired by the impact and so step forward with additional material.
How would you describe, tell me the adjectives if you feel that the batches are relevant in terms of what would interest the public and the electorate. What are the adjectives that you would use or you would want used after you release some of these batches to describe the information that you're going to pass forward? What would you want people to say? Devastating?
I'm not going to scoop myself on your show, Sean.
Well, you absolutely can. I will give you. We're on 550 radio stations right now, all across the country. I have no idea if you even know who I am.
We're a diligent, careful organization.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Let me.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go there. I am confident it is significant. And
this is what you said to the PBS.
So there's a lot of, a lot of different angles.
You said what we have is a significant amount of information. The information itself is significant, and it pertains to Hillary Clinton's campaign. And we will be releasing it in several batches, and we will be finished as we are finished with our journalistic work on each batch.
Yes.
It seems like there's no end to this. I think
what we've been doing this for 10 years.
That's a good point.
It does feel like there's
almost like job security. Would you answer this question? Did you get all 33,000 deleted emails that Hillary Clinton deleted?
I'm not commenting on what we have, other than to say we have significant material about the campaign. We will be releasing it as soon as we possibly can, as soon as the journalistic formatting presentation work is done. If people want to speed that up, we're tax deductible in the United States. That allow us to hire more presentation people and more researchers. But yeah, otherwise I don't want to scoop our publications before we are ready to present them to the public.
What, especially related to our election, would you think the American people have a right to know about Hillary Clinton based on what the bowels of documents that you have read that maybe we have not?
I'm not going to scoop our upcoming publication, Sean.
You got to give me credit for trying. I mean, I know you don't expect me not to try. Jeez.
As far as the DNC leaks are concerned, I mean, everyone knows the big takeaway. The DNC acted against its own constitution to try and rig the primary process against Bernie Sanders. And
anything in your email cache to suggest that Hillary Clinton has been involved in sabotaging the economy of Venezuela? Or the DNC?
You mean our pending emails or our presently?
Both, of course.
Pending emails, I can't talk about.
Do you expect that, I know you can't comment directly about the pending email releases from WikiLeaks, but do you expect more about the Clinton Foundation?
Yes.
Do you believe she can win, given the emails you've so far not
Can she win the election? That's an interesting question. I wouldn't be willing to say so far.
I want to start with the DNC leaks that's got WikiLeaks once again making headlines. You've promised that more is coming soon, material that you said could or should get her indicted, Mrs. Clinton indicted.
No,
what do you mean? I'm sorry?
I haven't said that.
Okay, I apologize, but you've promised more soon, damaging material soon, and
damaging material.
Pardon?
I've never said damaging material.
Okay, that's fine. You've promised more soon. What I'd like to know is what can we expect?
Interesting and even entertaining material. Sure.
So can we expect, though, that you do have some interesting material that could be published soon about the Clinton Foundation particularly?
What I have said is that we have a range of information related to the US election and a number of different institutions. After the DNC leak publication, where quite a lot of people have come forward seeing, I guess, the impact of that publication. And it's actually, we have too much work. I mean, we're working around the clock. We're trying to go as fast as we can. We're a small multinational investigative media organization funded by the public with very serious legal cases and a banking blockade in places. So, yeah, it takes time, but we'll get there.
Now from campaign insiders that Mrs. Clinton plans to, quote, run out the clock, largely ignoring the controversies until the voters go to the polls. But our next guest has other plans. He says his website, WikiLeaks, is set to publish information that will not be helpful to Mrs. Clinton, and it may force her to respond. Moments ago, we had a lengthy and fascinating conversation with Julian Assange, co-founder and editor-in-chief of WikiLeaks. He only agreed to speak to us from an undisclosed location since he is currently wanted for extradition by Sweden, and he's under investigation by the U.S. government, too, for his role in the largest leak of classified documents in U.S. history. Julian, thank you very much for being here. So let's start with the additional information you have regarding Hillary Clinton. When can we expect this information?
While we're working around the clock, we have received quite a lot of material, stimulated, of course, by the US election process and by our major DNC revelation, which has now led to the resignation of 5 top officials in the DNC.
But give us a general sense. I mean, are we going to see it before the November 8th election?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in the case of the DNC leaks, for example, we pushed as fast as we could to try and get it in before the Democratic nomination conference, because obviously people have a right to understand who it is that they're nominating and what sort of process was involved. And the same is true here for the US electoral process. People involved in that election have the right to understand who it is they're electing.
Now, you've seen it, right? Can you tell us how significant you believe it is? I mean, compare its significance to what we saw released by WikiLeaks in July.
Well, I don't want to scoop ourselves. We have a lot of pages of material, thousands of pages of material. So no, I have not read every single page. We're hard at work in doing that, trying to understand, etc. I don't want to give the game away, but it's a variety of different types of documents from different types of institutions that are associated with the election campaign. Some quite unexpected angles that are quite interesting. Some even entertaining.
Do you right now, according to the average of all polls, she's beating Donald Trump by 5.5 points nationwide. She's way ahead of him in most of the swing states, not all. Do you believe the information in your possession could be a game changer in the U.S. election?
I think it's significant. It depends on how it catches fire in the public and in the media.
So we have some time to take some questions. Yep, sure.
There's obviously been a lot of speculation in the US that the leaks that are about to come out are going to destroy Hillary Clinton's campaign. Can you confirm or deny that?
Julian, do you want to take that one? Because I think it's the false quoting of you that's been the issue on some of this. Sorry. It was referring to, do we have any comment on whether the upcoming publications to do with the US elections will destroy Clinton or not?
There has been a lot of misquoting of me and WikiLeaks publications. In this particular case, the misquoting has to do with that we intend to harm Hillary Clinton, or I intend to harm Hillary Clinton, or I don't like Hillary Clinton. All those are false. They come about as a result, principally, it seems, of Hillary Clinton's campaign and vendors trying to personalize our publications. Are upcoming publications significant in relation to the US election? Yeah, we think they're significant. Do they show interesting features of US power factions and how they operate? Yes, they do. I want to speak now about some of the things we're doing going forward, the future of WikiLeaks. Well, I know I've seen the internet, and I understand that there's enormous expectation in the United States. Some of that expectation will be partly answered, but you should understand that if we're going to make a major publication in relation to the United States at a particular hour, we don't do it at 3 a.m. That's something late. So we have a great many upcoming publications. Now, WikiLeaks has grown into a relatively strong position. We're a publishing organization that has no debts, has never had to fire anyone, is entirely funded by our readers, has succeeded in every litigation that it's been involved in. I think that puts us in an enviable position of being completely independent, not being dependent on dodgy foundations or advertisers or state funds or exceedingly wealthy benefactors, which of course always has their own interests. But nonetheless, the material that WikiLeaks is going to publish before the end of the year is of a significant moment, such a significant moment in different directions, affecting three powerful organizations in 3 different states, as well as, of course, the information previously referred to about the US electoral process. But WikiLeaks needs to change in order to survive and thrive through the next few months. Upcoming publications. We hope to be publishing every week for the next 10 weeks. Now, we have on schedule, and it's a very hard schedule, all the US election-related documents to come out before November 8th. Our upcoming series include significant material on war, on arms, on oil, on Google, on the US election, and on mass surveillance. So journalists who are interested in those subjects, please write to press@wikileaks.org. We will be beginning the first publication in that series this week. I'm not going to specify the hour because, of course, all the press whacks get ready to try and spin in the other direction.